I'm going to show you how to make a stop motion animation with your DSLR camera. And also note, the method that I'm going to be showing you today can be done with any kind of camera that uses an SD card, regardless of if it's a DSLR or not. So first, let me briefly talk about how we're going to be making a stop motion with this specific camera type. Instead of connecting a camera directly to whatever device you're using to put together your stop motion video, such as Stop Motion Studio, we're going to be taking the pictures directly onto the camera, taking the SD card, and then importing those pictures into whatever editing app that you use to create your stop motion video. Because of this, you're not going to be able to use the app to adjust your camera settings. So ideally, you want to have a camera that you can manually adjust all of your settings so that you don't have automatic features messing up your scene. Since automatic features that adjust the lighting and whatnot will cause flickers in your stop motion video. Just about every DSLR should have a manual option that you can use to take your pictures, and that's what we're going to be using. If your camera does not have fully manual settings, that's okay. You can still make a stop motion video with it. You just have to be okay with a little bit of light flickering. Now let's go over all the things that you'll need to start making a stop motion animation with your camera. First of all, of course, you're going to need a camera and an SD card. The current camera that I use is a Canon Rebel T6. I've had this camera for over 5 years, and it's been a fantastic camera for stop motion. The type of SD card that you get is completely up to you, but I would recommend getting something with a good amount of space because even with 128 gigabytes, I can only have about 3 full stop motion films on this SD card before it starts to slow down a little bit. You'll need a way to transfer the pictures from that SD card onto whatever device you're using to edit the video. For me, I just use a simple SD card reader that I plug into my computer. And you'll need an editing application that will allow you to import those pictures and create a stop motion film out of them. The app that I use for this is, of course, Stop Motion Studio Pro on my desktop, but you won't be able to do this with the free version as it won't allow you to import pictures. And since you're not creating the video directly from a phone, which has a built-in camera and microphone, you'll probably need an external microphone to make your own sounds as well. By the way, most of the things that I use that I'm mentioning in this video, I'll go ahead and link in the description of this video so you can check those things out for yourself as well. Those are the things that you'll need to physically create the stop motion film. Now let's talk about some of the things that you might want to have while you're actually taking the pictures. You'll probably want to have some sort of tripod to keep your camera still while you're animating, as well as a remote that you can use to take your pictures without actually pressing the shutter button on your camera, because you want to avoid coming into contact with your camera while you're animating, since it increases the chance that you bump the camera too far or you create some kind of inconsistency in the scene from the camera moving. With one of these, you can plug it into the camera and press the button on the remote to take your picture and avoid touching the camera. Now, those are all the basic things that you'll need to make a stop motion brick film with your DSLR. But there are a couple other things that I also like using that are not necessary, but they're super convenient and useful to have. One of those things being just an extra battery for my camera. Just because stop motion can take a long time, you can burn through an entire battery in one sitting. However, that's completely optional if you don't do stop motion in very long sittings and you always have your battery fully charged. A fairly cheap and useful tool that works well with my camera are macro filters, which I have in this bag. They allow you to get much closer to smaller objects such as Legos when you're trying to take your pictures, so it's been very helpful to have. I use one in almost every scene for my brick films. They can also be used to create a shallower depth of field. I don't know how this looks. Does this look bad? Okay, so we have all of our tools. We can start animating a stop motion film. So I've got my scene set up and all ready to go. To start recording, I've got my tripod here below the camera. I have my SD card and battery ready to go. So I set the camera up on the tripod. Next, I'm gonna add a macro filter because I think that'll fit this scene well. Now I've got my remote shutter here that I'm going to plug into my camera. Now I'm ready to start taking pictures. All right, so when I'm done taking my pictures, I'm going to unplug the remote. I'm gonna take my camera off of the tripod, and now all I need to take to the computer is this SD card right here. Now we can go do all of our editing. Here we are in a new project in Stop Motion Studio Pro. We're going to come over to this plus and click Add Images. Then we're going to scroll down to the pictures that we just now took and add all of those into this project. Then click open and let all of them import into the project. Stop Motion Studio Pro is currently the only app that I've used to do this on a desktop, so it's the only one that I can recommend, but it's only $10 and it's very easy to use. There are other apps that you can use to make a stop motion video this way, but this is the one that's the easiest for me. Now all of our pictures are here. Now this is a video I'm actually working on that'll be out in the coming weeks, so make sure you're subscribed so that you don't miss it. Now we can change around some settings, add some audio, or do some edits here and there, but that's as far as this tutorial is going to go, since we now have created a stop motion video with our DSLR. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know in the comments what other kind of cameras you would like to see for a stop motion tutorial.